Hello everybody and welcome to Drag Racing today, another action-packed show for you. We're going to feature some highlights from the February 12 meet at Adelaide International Raceway, including competition eliminator from the Festival State Championships. And what about this, round 3 of the World Top Fuel Motorcycle Championship right here in Adelaide. Joining me on the couch is former Australian funny car champion Jeff Pratt. And Jeff, that February 12 meet right at AIR, it was fantastic, wasn't it?
It was an enormous meeting, Bruce. We had the round of the Australian, or American, should I say, Drag Bike Association World Championship round, as you just mentioned, and we had races from all over the world, Bruce. This is truly an international show, Bruce, this one, and we had so many thrills and spills. We've got Helen Rustling coming on later on in the show as well. She had a monumental accident. Don't forget to watch Competition Eliminator when that comes up. And there was, it's just enormous, Bruce.
Well, there's a massive crowd on hand. As you said, the meeting had to get stopped at around about 10:30 on Saturday night when Helen Rustling had that accident. We'll talk to her a bit later on. But in qualifying for the World Top Fuel Motorcycle Championship, we had a look there. The first 8 positions were decided in rounds 1 and 2 at Calder and at Willowbank Raceway up in Brisbane. But we have a look here at the highlights from qualifying, and it was great to see so many Australian riders in there amongst the riders from around the world.
It really was. It was a selection process, Bruce, and what we're looking at right now is that we had riders like Brett Jonas and Tom Pearls in from the Netherlands. They did very well. Bill Furr from the United States, Gregory McLean, he's there as well, Gregory from Canada. These guys are really pushing for the bottom half of the field, as we put it, and they really did well. The attitude of some of these guys on these bikes, absolutely enormous, Bruce.
And we've got Brett Stevens, a local rider, got his Jack Daniels racing bike going, but just off the pace a bit.
Yeah, a bit off the pace, but watch for him to come back. The guy's a seasoned racer, and we'll expect big things from him, that is for sure.
Now, of course, this qualifying took place on the Saturday morning. Most of the racing took place on Saturday night. Unfortunately, because of the crash, had to be finished on Sunday morning. Was that perhaps a detraction from the event?
No, I don't really think so. I must mention there, Warren Hill, 205 mile an hour on a bike. Fantastic.
That is absolutely good. Just watching a solo run, is there a different mindset for a racer in a solo run?
No, you really go for it. You can just relax a little bit more, but Mark Connor, a seasoned racer from the States, boy, he laid a number down. And have a look at Brett Stevens. Fabulous burnout from this guy.
Jeff, we've seen qualifying for the World Top Fuel Motorcycle Championship. It's time now to get a bit more serious, and here are round 1 eliminations from that bracket.
Thanks, Bruce, and we're looking now at the Tectaloy elimination ladder, where we see Jim McClure from USA top qualified and has a bye.
Also Kenneth Kent taking on Bill Furr from the USA.
And Van Geffen from the Netherlands against Jonas from WA.
Next pairing, Warren Hill and Steve Little.
Right, then we look across to the other side of the ladder, where we find Steve Moore from the US against Max McLean from Canada.
The next pairing, Anders Carling from Sweden and Ian Ashelford from Western Australia.
Followed then by John Mancuso, US against Brett Stevens from Queensland.
And the final pairing, Tom Pels from Netherlands, Mark Connor from USA.
And now, round 1 of the eliminations, we're looking at the Tectaloy Performance Coolants lane. There we saw Bill Furr, now Ken Kent from Canada in the Greenhouse Superstores lane.
That's right, Mike. This is round 1 for Tectaloy here for Top Fuel Motorcycle.
And we're away.
Bill Furr, he's on a good strong run.
Carries it well.
And through to round 2 with a 678.
Yes, Kent in trouble there. Next pairing up, actually this is the bye run now with Jim McClure from the USA. He's racing the bike that actually comes from Excessive Force, Ken McGill's Excessive Force bike.
Now Jim McClure, he was #1 qualifier today. In fact, he was the wildcard entry for the Easy Riders ADBA.
Yes, indeed. And doesn't mess around, carries the wheel halfway down the track, buttons off towards the finish and runs still a 771.
Well, now let's go on to Rob Van Geffen here in the Tectaloy Performance Coolants lane. He's from the Netherlands. Alongside him is a fellow Aussie. It's Brett Jonas from Western Australia on the Attitude Racing Harley.
Yes, in the Greenhouse Superstores lane. Now we're just getting some last-minute adjustments in the Tectaloy lane there.
Now Van Geffen, #4 qualifier, and Brett Jonas, #13.
Van Geffen seems to have the jump out there, holds the bike strongly, and he's going on to take the win. And he does so with a 696.
Well, unfortunately, therefore, the Australian will continue on with Steve Little here from Victoria, another Australian alongside him from Canada, Warren Hill.
Warren Hill, yes. Now, of course, we've seen all the flags of every nation flying around in the pits there, which has been quite fantastic.
Okay, now Steve Little, there in the Tectaloy Performance Coolants lane, he was the number 12 qualifier today. Warren Hill from Canada in the Greenhouse Superstores lane was number 5, so I guess the advantage goes to Warren Hill.
Yes, although it appears at the moment the best runs seem to have been in the Tectaloy Performance Coolants lane. Again, a great fast takeoff and carrying that wheel. Wow, getting into stride there and still keeping the button on. The run, in fact, goes to Warren Hill, the 7:31.
Gregory McLean here from Canada in the Tectaloy Performance Coolants lane, and Stevie Moore from US of A in the Greenhouse lane.
Steve Moore's brightly coloured bike here from the USA. Of course, the teams that have come across here have brought all their own equipment and so on. Fantastic looking gear. 13 officials in the team and their own starter and so forth. In Joe Lehman, the chief starter. Right, just being briefed, and they're up and carrying the wheel in the Greenhouse lane. Here it comes, Moore on full charge. He holds the bike through. It's a good solid run with a 7. Didn't quite see that. He's off into the dirt. The bike has veered off into the dirt. It's thrown him clear. This is bad. This is nasty indeed. What an unfortunate thing, because he had the win, but he's come down off the bike there. Oh, that was really bad luck indeed. The bike looking quite battered. Well, that's going to slow up some of the competitors, but it doesn't look to be slowing up this particular run here.
Well, this one being Anders Carling from Sweden there in the Tectaloy lane, and Ian Ashelford puts on the brilliant burnout yet again in the Attitude Racing team there. Ian Ashelford from Western Australia.
Yes, we've seen Ian here a few times previously. Very meticulous, even down to the end there. He brakes very late and came down to make sure that all the marbles are swept off the track and so forth. Anders known as Charlie Carling from Sweden. So it'll be a tight pairing here. Both off very well. Again, the lane is carrying the wheel in the Tectaloy Performance Coolants lane. But wins it. Ian Ashelford, 7:52.
Comes on very strong down the deep end. We'll move on to the next pairing here. Johnny Mancuso, the guy from USA in the Tectaloy Performance Coolants lane. And here he is, Brett Stevens, the man in the Greenhouse Superstores lane from Queensland.
A very popular man who had a win here at the last meeting in the Greenhouse Superstores lane. He is, as you say, notice the jacket they're wearing there at the moment. That's to protect them from any possible explosive bits.
John Mancuso, in fact, had some problems in the earlier round in Willowbank Raceway, but they've got the bike back together. He's running okay, but Brett Stevens, he's got it this time at 7:49.
Oh, the guys are very happy about that.
Okay, the final pairing here in the first round of Tectaloy Top Fuel Motorcycle. It's Mark Corner from the US of A in the Greenhouse Superstores lane, and Ton Pels from the Netherlands.
Yes, Antonius or Ton Pels from the Netherlands. Again, not only seeing different flags, we're hearing a lot of different languages out here in the pits as well. Concentration on this, light drop, both bikes getting fairly wild, but lifting it in. Greenhouse Superstores lane appears to be the victory lane here, and it is for Mark Connor with a 7:69.
Round 1 eliminations there in the World Top Fuel Motorcycle Championship, and Jeff, Steve Moore, great run, but it went horribly wrong after that.
Oh, it really did, and it's something we don't want to see. But as I said before, these bikes have a real attitude. Went off onto the grass, he managed to get it back on again. How he did it, I've no idea. Man, a great experience. But what we really got to look at is that the guy split his collarbone. It actually shattered his collarbone. Ribs broken. He's also got a ruptured spleen, broken ribs. The guy's in a lot of pain, in hospital a fair bit, but he will get out and he will get back to racing once again, Bruce, and we just hope that everything works out fine for him.
Naturally, we all here wish him all the best to get back to racing as soon as he possibly can. Now, Jeff, what about the Australians, the South Australians in there? Brett Stevens, Ian Ashelford.
Brett Stevens, seasoned campaigner. Ian Ashelford, I'm really impressed with this guy. He has come on so well in this series, and as I said before, international racing in this country, all it does make everybody go faster. Great to see, and great for Ian Ashelford.
It is great to see. All right, we'll take a break here on Drag Racing today. When we come back, we're going to change brackets, and it's time for Competition Eliminator. Welcome back to Drag Racing today. Almost time for Competition Eliminator, round 1 eliminations. But first, Jeff, we're going to talk about qualifying. Plenty of action there. And our old mate Danny Baines, he just can't seem to get his car going through a meeting, can he?
No, Danny had a shocker again. Car shook like crazy, moved to the right. What did it do? Picked up one of the speed lights on the way down. Just as that happened, the door flew off. Danny's in amongst it all over again. But there's some other guys in there, Mick Harding, Sav Alley and Rod Rainsford from Victoria, all ran under their index. But the real surprise package was Paul Grigini. He ran under as well. So pretty tough in competition eliminator. 17 cars for a 16-car field. Great to see, Comp.
Now talk about international visitors. Canadian Jim Grant here as well, doing pretty well.
Yeah, it was good to see the guy. We know it as a valiant hardtop out here, but you know, you swear it was the same deal. But hey, the guy's out here racing and having a great time. Great way to have a holiday, Bruce.
And doing pretty well, sitting in 9th at the moment. Okay, let's get serious. It's time now for round 1 eliminations in Competition Eliminator.
Thank you, Bruce, and here's the Greenhouse Superstores elimination ladder where we see Rainford from Victoria against Jim Grant from Canada.
Also Rachel Clancy from Victoria and Dale Clothier from South Australia.
2 South Australians, Mick Harding against Athanasov.
And also Serge Benetti and Simon Miller.
South Australians waving the flag here at the moment. Let's have a look at the other side of the ladder where we find Sav Alley and Brenton Bassett, both from SA.
And the next pairing, Trevor Slaughter and Helen Rusling.
Now, this time we look to see Paul Grigini and Rebecca Stewart, both from SA.
And the last pairing, Rob McKitterick and Ricky Montserrat.
Well, here we see Helen Rustling in the Tectaloid Performance Coolants lane.
Now we go to Trevor Slaughter in the TL&B Racing Dragster, running the Greenhouse Superstores lane.
Incredibly tall wing on this dragster, you may notice.
Yes, it is. In fact, he runs Double B Dragster, Helen Rustling, AA Ultra Production. This is Group 2 of Andrew Drag Racing. They run on their class indexes.
Yep. Now then, Helen, who's been improving so much over the last few meetings, here she is waiting for the start of the Tectaloid Performance Coolants lane. She should get the green light first.
She will, in fact. There she goes away. Trevor Slaughter's got transmission problems, I do believe.
Yeah, and Helen, she's got handling problems at the moment.
Okay, so she gets right out of it. Does take the win for this round at 10:31 there for Helen Rustling.
That's still a good time at 10:31 for Helen. Ah, yes, and they're just pushing Trevor's car back now. Here we look at Ricky Montserrat in the Greenhouse Superstores lane with a very effective burnout.
Now we go to the Queenslandian. It's Rob McKitterick in the Tectaloid Performance Coolants lane.
Great little machine there.
Yes.
Now, as we see Ricky just backing up here. Yes, no problems, yeah.
There's the backup team there. Okay, Rob McKitterick was number 8 qualifying here today. Ricky Montserrat number 16, so he was sitting on the bump spot.
Yeah.
Okay, the guys coming into stage now for this first round of Greenhouse Superstores Competition Eliminator.
And the lights go down. McKitterick is away. The big chase has to come on by Montserrat.
Well, McKitterick takes it all the way to the finish line, runs at 8:00 and saves his index for the next round.
He does. Now, we're looking here at Jim Grant in the Dodge Dart, American Dodge Dart. What a fiendish burnout. Don't the crowd love this?
Oh,
you'd never guess, as you were noticing before, those from Canada.
Yes, the maple leaves
everywhere.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Well, number 1 qualifier, Rod Rainford, is over in the Greenhouse Superstores lane. Look at the brilliant helmet. Looks great.
Yes, the Greenhouse lane. Quite a great colourful machine. Now we'll see just how we go.
Rainford is away first. Jim Grant launches off the line. He's got to catch up to the altitude of Rainford, but no, he
Too
can't.
hard a job.
Yeah.
Too hard a job. So Rod Rainford takes this one out with an 8.75 seconds.
And moving on now to Sergio Benetti, the guy here in the Greenhouse Superstores lane, coming alongside Simon Miller in the brilliant looking, nice, brightly coloured dragster.
Very nice dragster this. He's had a few problems with it over the last season or two.
And have a look at the crowd out here today, just enjoying this beautiful day.
Lovely day and a mammoth turnout.
Well, Simon Miller obviously with big problems, so Benetti is providing he accepts the green light. There it is. He takes this win. This is his. He goes through to round 2 of Competition Eliminator.
Interesting thing to see whether he puts it all the way through, and he does seem to have done that with a 7.82.
Well, still saving his index, no problems at all.
Paul Grigini, the Greenhouse Superstores lane. Oh, mammoth great smoky. The crowd are enjoying these fabulous burnouts today.
They love it.
Rebecca Stewart over here in the Tectaloid Performance Coolants lane.
She's playing with the boys today.
Yes, she's had a few unlucky runs. We'll see if this one can change it for her today.
Okay, so Rebecca Stewart running Double C Dragster in the Tectaloid Performance Coolants lane. Paul Grigini in the AA Ultra Production Holden Statesman. He in fact ran under his index today. So I believe he has the upper hand in this race. We'll see how they go.
Very likely so, yeah, because Monica, he's just been such a steady runner.
Sure. Well, they get away. Stewart is down in front, but the Statesman comes on strong. all the way to the finish line. It goes to Paul Grigini at 7:26.
Top end took it for him to make that 7:26. Here's Brendan Bassett in the Techloid Performance Coolants lane, blasting it. Now look at this beautiful car, just repainted by Kent Town Crash Repairs. All that front part there is a new induction, a whole new design for them, and it's quite awkward to have to look past it, but he reckons it's very effective.
I can imagine. It looks brilliant. Also, it does the machine of Brenton Bassett there in the Techloid Performance Coolants lane.
Yes, a colourful lot of entries. The Greenhouse Superstores lane, Sev Ali there. Techloid Performance lane, here comes Brenton Bassett as the lights drop down. Ali is away, and what a lift-off by Brenton!
Well, the alternative Ali leads the whole way down the drag through, takes the win this time again, a 7:85 for Sav Ali.
And a 450 reaction by Sav Ali. Very tight stuff indeed. Here's the man who's been winning just over and over and over, so consistent. We're talking about our good old buddy Mick Hutting here.
Well, consistency is the word for competition eliminator, Michael, because you have to get close to your index, because that's the order that the Christmas tree comes down in, is your class
well,
index.
last meeting he was actually running under the index quite constantly.
He does that every event, in fact.
Techloid Performance, Coolants lane, Angle Athanasov fronting up.
Well, Hutting gets the lead first. Athanasov comes on next, but well, I believe Mick Hutting has this one in the bag.
Yes, and with a tight light as that one seemed to be, and it was with a .430 reaction, ran an 8:29 for the win. Once again to Mick Hutting. And
the final pairing here for Greenhouse Superstores Competition Eliminator. I know you love that machine.
Love that car of Dale Clothiers, converted to the two-door, the FE-FC Holden. 8 years in the making. His crew all dress up in their white shirts. It's become quite a fun thing at the track.
Looks really great. We'll go to the Techloid Performance Coolants lane of Rachel Clancy from Victoria.
Yes, now Rachel launches out well. Dale has problems with the car. A little bit late in the takeoff.
Mike Scheid caught up with Rachel Clancy for Mega Power Car Care Products.
Rachel, you had a very good reaction, .418. You ran an 8:41. How did you find the track and the run?
The run itself wasn't too bad. Amazing reaction time. Seems I haven't been running comp at all. The track was good until about halfway, and I got a bit out of shape there, but other than that, yeah.
Right, so it was halfway, not all the way?
No, not all the way. Just between halfway and the end of the track. It was a bit, but I got out of it, and that was the end of the run. So.
Well, good work, and now you're into the next round.
Thank you.
Round one eliminations there in Competition Eliminator. And what about Sav Ali? A fantastic run.
Yeah, really good for Sav. Strong competitor under his index. He's looking tough for the Nationals.
Paul Grigini also pretty good out there.
Yeah, Paul actually went off a little bit on that pass, but plenty left in it.
The Canadian, Jim Grant, ran into tough opposition, didn't he?
Oh, Rod Rainford, that guy, he can really drop way under the index. Tough competitor.
And Helen Ruthling, we're going to see her later in the show, I know, but she got through there all right.
Yes, she did. The guy I was helping blew the trans up right on the start line, so Helen had an easy pass through, but she still put her foot all the way through.
Fantastic stuff. All right, time for a break here on Drag Racing Today. When we come back, it's up to round 2 eliminations of the World Top Fuel Motorcycle Championship. Welcome back to Drag Racing Today. We've already seen plenty of action, thrills and spills from the February 12th event at AIR. We're up to round 2 eliminations of both brackets, the World Top Fuel Motorcycle Championship and Competition Eliminator.
Jim McClure against Bill Furr, both from USA.
Also Rob Van Geffen from Netherlands, Warren Hill from Canada.
And Steve Moore from the US against Ian Ashwood from WA.
And the final pairing, Mark Connor from USA taking on Brett Stevens from Queensland.
Jim McClure we see here in the Greenhouse Superstores lane.
Now he's the guy from USA, #1 qualifier here today. Now it's Bill Furr in the Techloid Performance Coolants lane. Bill Furr, in fact, the #9 qualifier.
Yes, now these guys, this is it.
He's deep stage there for Bill Furr, deep stage, but gets away fine, carries the wheel. Wow, the half track. Bill Furr is on a strong run. He takes the win with a 691. Mike Scheid caught up with Bill Furr for Mega Power Car Care Products.
Right, Bill, we have you at an ET of 691, 181 miles an hour. Have you found that the change in the track has affected you at all?
No, well, I don't think that the track has changed that much. No, the weather's fine. I took a little bit off the clutch that time, and it showed in the ET, and I probably I probably got off of it a little bit fast, but I'm happy with that. We'll go on to the next round.
Well, the sun goes down. The action heats up here with Rob Van Geffen in the Tectaloy Performance Coolants lane. Now Warren Hill in the Greenhouse Superstores lane.
Yes, Warren Hill, that bike just exemplifies, I think, the incredible display that the bikes have put on here today. Quite fantastic.
Absolute fantastic sportsmen here for the Easy Riders ADBA World Top Fuel Final.
All across the world, have a look at this though. Spark plug leads come off after the burnout. Oh, well, that's bad luck for him.
Rob Van Geffen, however, from the Netherlands, he has the automatic win in this race. He's through to the semi-finals. And
he's having to hold the bike down pretty well, but he's done it and runs a 7:02. Should make him happy.
We'll go on now to Brett Stevens in the Greenhouse Superstores lane. The guys from Queensland here in Australia also taking on Mark Corner from the US of A on the Alamo City Harley.
Right, now, of course, Brett had the big win last meeting here. He knows this track very well. I think he has the home country advantage, if you like.
Well, he does indeed. But Mark
City
Corner...
boy, Mark Corner.
Yeah, he was number 11 qualifier. Brett Stevens was number 14.
Right, so it's anybody's race. They're both off well. We're carrying the wheel in the Tectaloy Performance Coolants lane.
Stevens comes on strong, but Connor takes it this time, a 7:42. We'll go on to the final pairing here of Tectaloy Top Fuel Motorcycle, Ian Ashelford.
Yes, that's the boy, that's the boy. Yeah. And he's up against Steve Moore. Oh, of course, Steve unable to start because of the accident. So that means it's a solo run by Ian Ashelford. But I'm putting my money on the fact that he'll still give it the big boot. He's having to hold it off that wall, rise it through.
Mike Scheidt caught up with Ian Ashelford for Mega Power Car Care products.
Ian, I got it down this time as a 7.3, 177 miles an hour. Did you try the bike out pretty hard in that run?
Yeah, we changed a few little things on it, and it did step up, so we'll do a little bit more for the next one. We'll see how we go.
Yeah, it seemed to be a little bit warm at the end.
Yeah, that was just a clutch, a little bit of steam on it, but that's bugger all.
Fair enough. Well, next round coming up.
No worries, thanks.
Greenhouse Superstores Competition Eliminator ladder, Rod Rainford and Rachel Clancy.
And then Michael Utting up against Serge Bonetti.
Over to the other side now, we see the next pairing, Sav Ali and Helen Rusling.
Right, and then finishing off with Paul Grigini against Rob McKittery.
Time now for Greenhouse Superstores Competition Eliminator Round 2, the first pairing, Serge Bonetti in the Tectaloy Performance Coolants lane.
And in the Greenhouse Superstores lane we see Mick Utting.
Now once again we're running a Group 2 of Andrew drag racing here, so the guys are running on their class indexes. Now Mick Utting is running C Dragster, Serge Bonetti running A Ultra. So we'll see the tree come down at different times.
Elements now. Of course, Mick Utting has been cutting such tight lights. But this has been a great advantage for him. Now we'll just see how he goes this time.
And the pressure is on. Mick Utting leads first, but no...
Oh, Serge got too tight. Red light.
There it is. Mick Utting once again takes this win through to the next round. Runs through with an 8:33.
4:53 actually tight once again. Now we look this time at Helen Rusling, and she's in the Tectaloy Performance Coolants lane. This beautiful car of Savali occupying the Greenhouse Superstores lane. They had a little bit of a delay here. But anyway, back into racing now. Here we go, just settling them in, wait for the lights to drop. And we're away. The Roadster takes it out. Oops, starts to get a little bit twitchy there. And he's
very out of
more twitchy. He's backed off. Helen's cut right across the front and slammed into the wall across the track. And the Greenhouse Superstores lane come to a rest. Oh, this is dreadful now. The crew are seeing the problem of what's happened. Let's have a look at that once more on the Tectaloy slow motion replay. Unbelievable. There you see both cars are out of control. Sav has backed off, but Helen appears to have had the boot in. She's locked up there now. The wheels are locked up fully and skidding, but straight into the wall. A lucky official running just out of the way. The car up onto the side, still spinning from the force of the impact, and comes to grief as the other car attempts to go around the outside.
Well, round 2 action there in the World Top Fuel Motorcycle Championship, but in Competition Eliminator, round 2 couldn't get finished when Helen Rusling crashed into the wall. And a special guest on drag racing today is Helen Rusling. And Helen, it's actually great to have you here. It was a horrible crash. What happened?
I don't really know. It was just left the line, and when it started to go, and I tried to bring it back round, and it just went. just went straight across the track. I couldn't sort of do anything to bring it back.
Well, we saw the result. Jeff, you might be able to help, because the track, there was some dust out there. Was there circumstances which were out of Helen's control?
I believe that and a major part of it, Bruce, it really is part of the problem, is that Helen actually got out of the racing groove. Now, the track was actually shut down for almost an hour before that they were sitting on the start line. Now, if you look at Sav Ali's car, he was moving around all over the track. Helen moved over when Sav's car made a turn, and she got completely out of the racing groove, and on a really slick track like that, she had no hope.
Helen, what goes through your mind when you're driving cars of 1,000 horsepower and suddenly it all goes wrong? What were you thinking?
I don't really know. At the time, it sort of all happened so quick. You're just sort of trying to concentrate on getting it back round and staying in your lane.
Well, as I said, it's great to see you here, but you were hurt in the crash. I mean, no one could walk away from a crash like that without anything. You're okay now?
Yes, I'm fine. It was just mainly chest, very sore across the chest because of the harness stopping me, like when I hit the wall, and just a few bruises. That was about it.
Jeff, that's probably testament to the quality of drag cars, the safety nowadays.
Well, the safety is absolutely enormous. A lot of racers complain about the safety rules, but it really is important that it comes in, and the way that Helen hit that wall full on, head on, she's very, very lucky lady, but her 16 years or so she's been in drag racing. She's not new to the sport, Bruce, but boy, nobody expects that. Now,
I'm a bit of a green drag racing fan, but Helen, you're a mother, you're a grandmother,
yes,
and you've been drag racing for 16 years. What is it in your blood, or what attracts you to it?
I don't know. I just like the speed, doing burnouts, number one, and just going fast. And when you find out you've run a quicker time at the other end, it's great.
Now, what about the car? It was all over the track. What's the future for the car?
Well, we're having it looked at the moment to find out whether we'll actually rebuild that car or whether we'll tackle the drive line and look at buying something else. But it all depends on cost at this stage.
Okay, well, Jeff, as you know, 16 years, you'll be back, I'm sure, won't you?
Well, I hope so.
Great to see.
Most drag racers really will try and do everything they can to get back into the sport. Helen, can I ask one more question? What would you really like to race, Helen?
Well, I still like racing the sedans, blown sedans, so probably still
stay in the sedan. Door slammer.
Would be nice.
I think her husband needs to find a lot of money.
Yeah, that's right.
Great, Helen. Fantastic to have you on the show. Unfortunate accident, but you walked away. It's great, and we look forward to seeing you back in drag racing real soon.
Thank you.
All right, we'll take a break here on drag racing today, but when we come back from Tectaloid, John Elfenbein. Right, time to go back and racing now. We're going to go to the semi-finals of the World Top Fuel Motorcycle Championship, and we're going to complete round 2 eliminations and then get into the semi-finals of Competition Eliminator.
So now we're back at the track. It's now Sunday morning. We'll resume round 2 of the competition.
And isn't it a beautiful day here today,
yes,
Michael, with Rob McKitterick from Queensland in the Tectaloid Performance Cornets Lane and Paul Grigini here.
Grigini, doors open, let that smoke out after the wild burnout once again. His car is absolutely flying this weekend. Note the Perspex front on there.
Yeah, very interesting.
Yes, they told me that is actually making a good difference to the effect of their run.
Okay. Fully staged now for the drag race. Green lights for both.
Well away by McKitterick, but now Paul Grigini hounds him down. McKitterick's in trouble.
Mike Shire caught up with Paul Grigini for Mega Power Car Camp products.
Well, Paul, it was a pretty strong run, and in fact you ran a 7.02, 199 miles an hour.
Well, I'm back. Yeah, that's a good run for the first time in the morning. I tested the track at 60 foot, felt good, so I just hammered it. So no, it was excellent. Let's hope today will be a good event, yes, and everybody goes down the track safe and be a top meeting here.
But now it's time for Tectaloid semi-finals with Bill Furr from the US of A and Rob Van Geffen from Netherlands. Over to the other side of the ladder, Ian Ashelford from Western Australia and Mark Connor from the US of A.
Here is Robert Van Geffen from Netherlands, and he's in the Greenhouse Superstores lane. In the Tectaloid Performance lane, we're looking at Bill Furr from the USA.
Now, Bill Furr is in fact the reigning champion of Top Fuel Motorcycle in the US of A.
That's right. And here we go. Carrying it, front wheel in the Tectaloid lane again.
Mike Scheid caught up with the guys for Mega Power Car Care products.
Hey guys, that was one almighty pass. Bill, you took it out with a 679, and Robert, who ended up in the kitty litter there, ran a 6.80.
Well done, Bill. I was ready for you. Boy, that was great. That was great. That was great.
And at half track, you were 160, 170 miles an hour, both of you.
Oh yeah. I think Rob got out a little bit on me to begin with, and then out this bike moves in the middle of the track, and then that thing moves on the big end of the racetrack. It was awesome. I really didn't. It was real close, real close.
Well, let's go on here with Ian Ashelford in the Greenhouse Superstores lane, smoking up that rear tyre. And coming alongside him for the semi-final is Mark Connor from the US of A.
Actually, Ian Ashelford, as I think I mentioned before, runs so deep into the finishing area that he's most anxious about that track being totally clean down there for him.
Yeah, okay, well the guys just coming back into stage now. The official starter of the ADBA, they're giving them the green light for the semi-final of Tectaloid Top Fuel Motorcycle.
That's the man. And we are away, and once again carrying the front wheel.
Mike Scheid caught up with the guys once again for Mega Power Car Care products.
Well, here we've got the runners here now. Mark Connor, you came in the winner with a 7.04 against a 7.17 for Ian. Reaction time from Ian was really tops with a 4.73, Mark a 5.16, but you came home faster with 199 against Ian's 1.78. How's it feeling?
Oh, Ian had me the whole way. I thought I didn't know what I was gonna hit. It wasn't looking good where I was sitting. He did a heck of a job.
No worries, mate.
Ian's a heck of a rider.
Greenhouse Superstore semi-finals time with Rod Rainford from Victoria taking on Michael Udding. And we go to the other pairing now. We see Sav Ali and Paul Gugini, both from South Australia.
Michael Udding in the Greenhouse Superstores lane doing his burnout, and across in the Tectaloid Performance lane we see another equally good burnout by Rod Rainford.
That's right. Now number 1 qualifier was Rod Rainford from Victoria. Mick Udding here was number 3 qualifier.
Just saw Rd3 guiding Mick back into place there. Now Mick Udding, as we've been saying, has been doing such tight cutting lines, such tight times, reaction times.
They're both hot on the mark too. They're both running under their class indexes, so the finish line will be very close.
Rainford from Victoria has the lead at the moment.
And Rainford does take the win this time with an 8.17.
Paul Gugini in the Greenhouse Superstores lane, lighting it up as he's done last night and again today.
Oh, he loves to do those burnouts, and Sav Ali alongside him in the Tectaloid Performance Coolants lane.
A lot of smoke there. Full of smoke everywhere. Yes, Sav Ali, as we mentioned earlier, modifications to the front of this and matching the paint up as they did at Kenttown Crash Repairs the other day, and he's really pleased with the way this car's running. Both guys are running beautifully, and it's flip a coin to see who takes this one.
Well, Sav Ali number 2 qualified, Paul Gugini number 4. Well, there it is. Sav Ali has the win all the way to the finish line, runs a 7.80. Mike Scheid caught up with Sav Ali for Mega Power Car Care products.
Sav, we get a chance to catch up with you. 7.38 reaction time, but you ran an ET of 7.8, 167 miles an hour. All this new design fairing's obviously doing something for you.
We think so. I'm not sure. We've got a few things to try yet, and the track's not really up to scratch, so I can't tell whether the new scoop's working or the change we've made are working, but I think we're on the right track.
Well, some great semi-final action there in the World Top Fuel Motorcycle Championship and Competition Eliminator. And Jeff, in the bikes, Ian Ashelford, the only local left in the semis, but he's out.
Yeah, bad luck for Ian Ashelford. I think he did extremely proud. The way that he raced was brilliant, and good luck to the guy. He's got a very, very big future.
And what about the American Bill Furr, fastest time?
Bill Furr, that guy is going to be tough for the final for sure.
Now, Mick Udding ran under his index, He ran into a bloke who went further.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Rd3, what a tough customer. And what could he do? He did a very, very good pass, but unfortunately tonight, just not good enough.
And Savali, he's having a pretty good round, isn't he?
Yeah, Savs did very well, but you've got to also remember Paul Gugini was running tough all day, but one of his crew guys forgot to turn on the air bottle for the shifter, went to change gears, no gears, had to get out of it. So good run for Savali, he was lucky.
Probably haven't spoken to each other since. All right, Jeff, we've got some great finals coming up, but right now we're going to take a break. When we come back, life in the fast lane. Thanks, Jeff. Well, let's go back racing now. We've got some great finals action for you, including round 3 of the World Top Fuel Motorcycle Championship and Competition Eliminator. Let's go to the track now.
First up, the MicroArts Computers Super Street. And we're looking at Rick Yafanditas there in the Greenhouse Superstores lane.
Brilliant burnout. Now we're going to the Tectaloy Performance Coolants lane with Tony Diviak from Victoria, South Australia versus Victoria.
Versus Vic. Here we go. On the line now. Yafo's done quite oh, he's pulled a red light. I was going to say he's won so many.
And now he hasn't. He takes runner-up for this event. Tony Diviak from Victoria gets a win this time around, and he runs at 10.88, 175 kilometres per hour.
Well, good for him. Off the Vic. This time we see Mark Lee in the Greenhouse Superstores lane.
And we're
yes, that's the name of the vehicle. Running for MicroArts Computers once again. And Stuart McBain from Victoria in the Gemini in the Tectaloy Performance Coolants lane.
That's right.
Mean little machine.
Oh, yes, indeed. This is the finals of MicroArts Computers Super Sedan coming here right now. Lee versus McBain.
Well, flip a coin once again. Great launch by the Victorian, but Mark Lee is out in front.
Well, Mark Lee had the better reaction time with a 4.30 to a 4.95. Lee takes the win in the final. Super Sedan a 9.91, 2.18 kilometres per hour.
There he goes. This time we look at the MicroArts final for competition bike, in which we see David Hines in the Tectaloy Performance lane just being pushed back there, and Perry Mackey on the Harley in the Greenhouse Superstores lane. Of course, David Hines on the Suzuki 1327.
Okay, now
Midnight bike just being forward here on foot power.
Now, David Hines, relatively new to this motorcycle, so he's been playing around with it for the last few events. This
Perry
time I think he's got the hang of it. Yeah, but Perry Mackey, he's got this win here in competition motorcycle, 8.88, 236 kilometres per hour.
Good work, Perry.
Let's go now on to the Greenhouse Superstores Competition Eliminator Final. Rod Rainford running here in the Greenhouse Superstores lane, and Saverio Ali in the Tectaloy Performance Coolants lane.
You said a mouthful. And as the boys just work their way back here, we'll just take note again that here we are on the Sunday. What an improvement in the weather. And a lot of the crowd have come back to join us here for some very exciting racing. Lights down and Rainford away. Oh, Sav's got the wobbles up.
Green lights for both once again. Rainford, the #1 qualifier, takes the win. And a very convincing win, 8.04.
This is it, folks, for Tectaloy, the final of the top fuel bikes.
That's right, Michael. This is where we crown the world champion of the Easy Riders ADBA World Top Fuel Motorcycle Final.
And it's between these two guys, Mark Connor just nearest here in the Greenhouse Superstore lane, and across there, Bill Furr in the Tectaloy Performance Coolants lane. This is the moment.
That is right. All-American final here. Who's going to be the #1?
We're away with feet up in the air. Someone's going to say, look at me, ma'am, on top of the world, because here it comes.
Bill Furr's the man, runs through with a 6.90 to take the win, 309 kilometres per hour.
Bill, fantastic. We said we'd be seeing you a bit later, but you've just been for a ride and a half.
Well, yeah, we had a good day. All these guys out here have been running real good, and we just happened, you know, we've had 2 terrible weeks, and then all of a sudden we just, we got everything together, and we ran real good at this racetrack, and this is the one that counted, and I'm glad it did.
Well, a couple of great finals there, wrapping up a fantastic meeting at Adelaide International Raceway. And Jeff, in competition eliminator, Rod Rainford just too good.
Yeah, Rod Rainford, as I said, way under his index and just way too tough for Sav Ali, but Sav gave it a good try.
Now, round 3 of the World Top Fuel Motorcycle Championship, Bill Furr came to town and he dominated.
Yeah, Bill Furr, enormous, but what about, he turns the bike around and drives it back up to the start line.
Is that allowed?
No, it's not allowed, but when you're world champion, who cares, Bruce?
Good luck to you, and great to see all the competitors from overseas come to AIR for what I said was a great meeting.
Good or what, man? I've been doing this for about 30 years and I've never in my life seen a top fuel motorcycle be ridden back after a victory, and it was running good.